Hey guys, what's up? This is Chase. This is my Natural Selection 2 review. Natural Selection 2 is a pretty dang good game. I've been able to not play it that much lately due to other projects I've been working on, but in my free times I'm not rendering, I've been playing Natural Selection 2, and I gotta say it's probably one of my favorite games to come out, favorite multiplayer game to come out this year. It has great, when you're like trying to customize your settings, there's great information there. It tells you everything you need to know. Well, it doesn't tell you everything you know, it just gives you everything you need to, use to really customize your settings. Though it doesn't have a high frame rate setting, I can never get it above 60 if I want to, and I don't have the best computer, so I never really get it to 60. You will need a high-end computer if you're going to play this game. When you try to find a server, you'll notice there aren't that many, or there aren't a lot filled up. Well, the game's not too big right now, but it is still very fun if you get into a nicely populated server, which there are a few that are always pretty good populated. Though it's very fun to play, and I mean it's a super enjoyable game. When you get into the server, you'll notice you get into a loading screen. With actually one of my favorite parts of the loading screen is it'll show you the map when you're almost done loading, kind of tell you where everything is. Kind of, show you the layout of the map so you know what you're kind of going to do. Since if you play the game before, you'll see kind of the stuff you need to know, if you know what I mean, like where all the bases are set up and junk. Which is what gets me into the game is the game is a strategy / FPS game, if you can understand that. One person takes role of the commander and he builds the structures for the base, but he doesn't control the units because you are the units. There's also the other players are units. So you need a good mix of, you need players to work together. This is one of the best teamwork oriented games of the year, hands down. If you don't have your headset on, if you aren't talking with your team, if you aren't helping people out, you will not have a good time. You will pretty much always lose, and it's terrible. It's never fun if you're not having people talking. I usually just leave those games. I'm like, hey, what's up? Anybody here? If you get no responses, you just see people run off in their own direction. You're just gonna lose. It's not fun. Now there are two races you can play as. You can play as the human, the marines, the frontiersmen. You can play as the aliens or the Kahara. They're both very fun. I prefer the Marines because I just like shooting. The aliens usually just give me a headache and they're running around, but it doesn't mean I didn't play them a lot. They have a good diversity of how they use. They're not a very good diversity of how they play out differently. They're not very different in their play style. But if you get deeper into it, you'll see there's a more diversity as you get them. But when you just see it, there's not a lot. But if you get more into it, you will see. But before you jump into the game right away, you will want to play all the tutorial stuff first, because if you don't, you will just get slammed. Before this, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on it just so I knew what I was doing. When I jumped into Commander and such, as I played a little, actually more Commander and stuff, because I really like it. And it's very fun. The commanders are very cool. It's not hard, but it's not easy at the same time. If you want to become a good commander, you have to practice and practice and practice and promise. And I promise you will fuck up multiple times before you even get good at trying to be commander. Second of all, there are multiple guns you can use as the Marines. There's not a lot though, which is kind of disappointing. There's only a few, but the developers are really into the game. They are patching it. They are working on it. It's very fun. It's really balanced right now, and I'm not having a really hard time, winning or losing as both races. I have a lot of good mix in between. The Marine weapons are, you get a machine gun and a pistol as your starter. The pistol will always be your secondary. There is no other secondary gun you can have. And the machine guns are also your starting weapon. Their machine gun's fine. It works most of the time for anything. Pistol is, your backup just in case you run out of ammo. And then you have a little, a fold-out axe, pretty much. You can just whack at things with it. It's good for not wasting ammo when you're taking down alien structures. You can also get a shotgun, or a grenade launcher, or a flamethrower. My favorite being the grenade launcher for some reason. It's like the bang bang, and you see all the cysts explode and such, which are alien structures. Those are very fun. You also get equipment such as the mine, which is a self-explanatory thing you put on walls, ceilings, anywhere. It's very awesome. A welder, which repairs your stuff, which is almost necessary to get in the game. It pretty much saves a lot of your resources. And what's it called? A jetpack. What's it called? A jetpack. Self-explanatory. You can fly around. It gives you a lot more versatility in combat and such. A lot of cool stuff you can do in the. And also, there are upgrades for you, like damage increase for guns and ammo. I don't think there's ammo increases. There's armor increases and such like that. Just increase your health, and you will need those, if you're gonna win. And this also gets into one thing, buying these weapons, you get resources. When your commander puts down, a generator or whatever they're called. I played a little bit of them, but I love, just playing the FPS version of the game. They put it down, you get your resources, and you gotta kind of manage that too, because, buying a shotgun will cost 20, but when you die, that shotgun's gone. You gotta buy a new one, and 20 ain't easy to get by at the beginning of a game. So, you gotta remember to do that. Also, you get vehicles called, not vehicles. You get a vehicle called the Exosuit. It's, there's two versions of it. One, it's a giant walking mech, it's not giant, it's tall. It's a tall walking mech, and you can get one with a minigun and a fist, fist for punching, minigun for shooting. Then you get one with two miniguns for double the firepower. Really useful, really game changers. There's also an arc, which I never got to see when I was playing, really. That never really came into play in my games for some reason. It's like it just kind of rolls around and then it gets up and shoots. It's cool. I don't know. I never really got to use it though. I never got to see it actually that much either. I heard they were very good back in the day, but they're not really used anymore. Then you have the aliens, which are the more unique race, though they have similar things they can do. Alien, you first start out as the Skulk. It is the starting one. It's fast, quick, but it's weak, but it's very good for the guerrilla style warfare. That's good. You also get the Gorge. The support unit can put down Hydras that are little you read them up and they just shoot out like little mini spikes at the enemy. I don't know what they hit me. I never actually get to see what they are most of the time. That's to put up little clots, I think they're called, and they little roadblocks pretty much. There's green balls, and you gotta stab past them or shoot them or pistol them or whatever you want to do. They can also heal spray, and they also fire spit at you. They're just a regular support units. They can also slide, which looks goofy as hell, but it's awesome what to do. There's also the Lurk, the flying unit, I call it. It just flies around. Well, it is a flying unit. I call it. Everyone fucking calls it the flying unit. It's a flying unit. It has a poison bite, shoots out spikes out of its wings, which is super awesome looking. Also has one of my favorite abilities in the game, which makes it almost my favorite unit in the game. It takes out spikes and it shoots spores out everywhere, and so it can carpet bomb an area with a poison gas pretty much. It's super awesome. It also has another ability, but I never get to see it used. So I have no idea what it does, actually. Fade, my favorite unit, it has a blink pretty much where you just see it kind of blur past the battlefield. You can still shoot out when it's going by, but you still see the outline of it running by, or what's it called, I don't know what it's called really. It's kind of like a line of, you see it's like line body, like someone's going like a Star Trek Enterprise going to warp speed pretty much, running right past you, and it's super cool looking, and it's awesome. It has two claws that are just giant scythes, and they just kind of rip into people, and they're just the main shock troops, the killers, and you'll see them wreck face against people. They single-handedly can destroy teams easily, even if you give them a new upgrade ability, Blink, which makes them just go faster. It makes them actually look cooler. Then there's the Onos, which is a large gorilla slash rhinoceros, pretty much. It looks gorilla-ish, but then has a face of a rhinoceros, kind of like giant spike, and it just runs into people and impales them and wrecks shop. It's kind of the giant tank of their army, and it costs a lot like the Exo. Not as much, I think. Not as much as more than the Exo. Exo's not as much. They're destroyed. They got a giant stomp, and it wrecks things. But if you want to get those abilities, you have to talk to your commander, and that's where the teamwork comes in. If you want to play the Fade, you gotta tell the commander, hey, I'm gonna go Fade this game. I'm not gonna shoot your Lurker, and someone's gotta tell them that you kind of gotta build around that one kind of area of expertise and got to get him his blink rather quickly. And they also have unique things like regeneration and celerity, which lets them, you can kind of get let's say I want celerity to go run faster, and then carapace to have more armor, and then wait, this guy, no, I want regeneration and carapace, I'm more tanky looking. Oh, I'm not looking, just tanky. So you get a lot of mixing of combos you want to work together with, which makes it a lot more interesting when you're in the middle of a fight. It gives you a lot of cool things you can work with, and also regeneration probably saved my life 1 billion times over. But that's why it's called OP. So I don't know if that actually is OP, since I haven't played a lot of the game, been busy. The game runs well, I've already said that, but you will need a high-end computer, as I've said before. But the problem with that is, if a big firefight breaks out, it is horribly impossible to know what's going on sometimes. And I feel like it runs a little slow. I don't know, I feel like the Marines are just too slow in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Maybe it's just when I'm backpedaling or something happens. I'm not, I'm delved too deep into the game. I'm plunge myself into it like League of Legends I did. I might actually try to do that one time. Just delve into and just try to understand the damn game. And it's also supported by Steam Workshop, so you can get some cool custom stuff or work on your own custom stuff. If you like working on custom things, you can do that too. And do I recommend it? Hell yes, I recommend it. I'd like to do more stuff with it, but I need a better computer first. It is probably one of my favorite multiplayer game coming out this year, and I highly recommend it to anyone. This is MultiDirectional1, or Chase, signing off. Hope you guys like the review.